Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Royal Production. This is another segment of the Daily Article. Yes, the Daily Article. Now let's get right into this bullish news. Now remember, anything I provide in this video is for informational purposes only. This is not professional advice, and it is always imperative that you do the research for yourself. Have first-hand experience. Read the articles. They will be posted down in the description down below. And also you can head over to my X, formerly known as Twitter, at the King Louis. I usually post the things there. I don't cover everything I post there, but I do post the things I do cover in my videos here on YouTube. Now, a lot of this information is I'm going to say not too many people want this information that I give out. And the reason why that is because we're heading into a different paradigm. Everything is moving. There's a lot of moving pieces to this puzzle. So you have to kind of understand every piece to the puzzle in order to get the whole picture of things. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to offer information. You can take it or leave it, but remember, always do your own research. Now, enough with that. Let's get right into this news. First, we're going to look at the market really quick. First thing I looked at this morning was the market, and it was one of those things for me where it looks like there's a cool down happening. Now, it could be just a consolidation. I do not know. There's so many different ways to look at these charts, and everyone has their own opinion. Just stay safe and understand your risk tolerance and understand where you are as an individual when it comes to investing. Not financial advice, but it looks like we're having a cool off. On the left, we have the total crypto market. It was up here about 3 trillion, but now we're down at about 2.85. Same thing with Bitcoin. Bitcoin was sitting up here at about 93,259, and it's cooling down, and it looks like it's been dropping ever since this morning to about 87. We don't know where these levels are going to go, but remember, always do it yourself. I can tell you all about these charts, but you have to learn these charts for yourself if you want to be a good investor. Do not leave it in the hands of someone else to give you information and point you in the direction. You must do it yourself. Remember, your mind is your crown, and we're going to continue to say that. Your mind is the only thing that can control your realm. You want to change your situation in life? Change your perspective in the way you think. All right, let's get into this news. So we just talked about Bitcoin, but let's look at why Bitcoin had this surge. Now, there's many questions of why, but the main focus is that there was some resistant levels earlier in the day that were reached. And once that happens, there's usually a blow off, and then we have this cool down, and that's what's happening. Another thing, the surge was fueled by heavy demand with Coinbase Premium Index at its highest level since April. So a lot of people are starting to become aware of this, especially with Trump becoming the president. We'll see if that happens or not. You know, they're always playing their games, but it is one of those things where you have the ETFs, you have a lot of world drama, we can say, happening, and then we have the crypto people who are part of Trump's, not cabinet per se. We don't know who's the cabinet, but we know that the people who surround Trump kind of support crypto. And, you know, the first crypto that's going to see this is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the leader right now. I'm not going to say it's the best utility coin. I'm not going to say it's the best overall, but right now, Bitcoin is king when it comes to cryptocurrency. So this is going to be the first mover when it comes to a lot of these things. And like we know, once this is over, the alt season starts, and then the altcoins start getting, you know, a little bit of Bitcoin's love. All right. So just read through this article. Again, it will be down in the description down below or on my X, like I said. But yeah, mostly it's the ETFs, the resistant levels, and just there's so many charts you can look at and see what's going to happen. And if you need to know more about that, do a quick YouTube search. Okay. If you have questions and answers, look it up on YouTube. There's plenty of videos out there to teach you how to do this stuff. Okay. I'm going to tell you this right now. I took about 2 courses and I learned more on YouTube than I did in those 2 courses when it came to trading and finance. So that's just my own personal story. Okay. It's up to you. Remember, your mind is your crown. It's up to you to make the decisions. All right. Moving on. So we have senior Federal Reserve official who blasted Bitcoin now says he'll have an open mind. So we already know about the talks of the Fed being shut down, okay? And that's from Trump's side. Trump said he wants to get rid of the Fed. Now, is that doable? We do not know, but it is one of those things where it is up in the air, and we know, like, in my opinion, again, my opinion, crypto will be the future. If like I said, YouTube and information is your best friend in these times, okay? So do extensive research. But basically, not just Bitcoin, but cryptocurrency and blockchain technology is usually and probably the best bet when it comes to these financial institutions, big businesses, the Fed, banks, all of them. Just because it's you can have a private ledger, you can have an open ledger, but the bottom line is a lot of this stuff is tracked and put into a database. And it's usually better when if you have a business, it's good to track your inflows and outflows, because then you know how to operate your business. That's the same thing that goes for, the Fed. This could, like I posted earlier, like, what was the change of mind? Did they find out that they were about to be shut down, or have they come to their senses and understand, hey, maybe we can make a Fed dollar? Read through this article and see what it says. But basically, nevertheless, the former banker struggles to see crypto's real life use case, especially given how the industry has been pushing for mainstream adoption without success, in his opinion. Remember, a lot of these talking heads are going to get up here and talk out of their butt, and they're not going to give you facts. So you can read through this article and see what it says, but question everything at all avenues. Question this stuff, because it's very important that you do. Do not read an article like this. If there's something that pops up to your head and be like, hold on, wait, let me go do some research. Open another tab or get out your phone and ask the question to Google. We have AI now, and AI helps, but then again, you have to get to the bottom layer of all this stuff. For me, it's all smoke and mirrors. And if you're paying attention, then you know what's going to happen. Okay? Moving on to some other crypto news. But basically, this crypto news is a little bit different because, like, we know Elizabeth Warren, she does not like crypto whatsoever, okay? She's very hard on it, okay? But basically, Warren will be the top Democrat on the Senate Banking Committee that crypto legislation must clear, the most senior role of the opposition party on digital asset matters. So basically, she's going to be part of the committee, and it's majority Republican now, but she's going to be one of those Democrats that are on that board or committee, we could say. And so whenever something gets passed or comes across her desk, she will be in control of signing off on it or agreeing to it. Now, basically, it says here, the panel will be responsible for handling crypto legislation in the incoming months. So again, like, I like this because you don't just have a whole bunch of crypto heads who want crypto in there. It really takes someone from the outside like Elizabeth Warren. And again, I get it. She's not the best person. But when it comes to stuff like this, it's a slippery slope. We can't just allow every crypto, every blockchain, every institution to do what they want. And when you have someone like her in a seat and part of the panel, she's going to look at it for what it is. She might not like it, but at the end of the day, you have scrutiny. You have someone who actually puts the brakes on things. You know what I mean? It's not just everybody like, oh yeah, let's do this. No, you have someone in there now that will, give some insight from the opposite side of things. Now, me, I'm big on crypto. I think it's going to be the future, but it really has to be done in the right way, because if you do not do it in the right way, you can collapse the entire system. And that's not bad for us, the little people. All right. So remember, read these articles, look through them, and have an open mind when it comes to stuff. Don't take your bias and your ego out of it when you're understanding what's happening. We have to understand the perspective of some of these people. They don't think like us. OK, when you're at the top, you have a different mindset. And I'll leave that there. But check this article out and let's move on. All right, so on to some better news. Now, this is amazing for the space because it's one of those things where you see innovation happening fast. You know what I mean? Coinbase was just in a lawsuit, but it's one of those things where nothing is stopping these companies. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to like the SEC in America. You have Ripple still doing their things behind the scenes, even though they were going through a lawsuit. You have Coinbase still doing their thing, even though they were going through a lawsuit. And you can go down the line. Sorry, that's my cat in the background. She wants some love. But anyways, Coinbase wallet will soon roll out with tap to pay crypto solution to compete against Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, and other fast payment firms. So I'm gonna tell you this right now. I use Coinbase, and for the most part, I can see how this is beneficial in the future. So basically, how I use mine, I have a certain amount of digital assets on my Coinbase wallet, and then what I'm able to do there, instead of spending, a certain crypto, you can allocate which crypto you want to spend. You can allocate if you want to spend cash. You can allocate if you want to spend XRP. I don't sell XRP, but that's just my opinion. Anyways, you can put there that you want to use some of your Bitcoin. So it's one of those things where this is truly the future. Instead of you only having cash and only using cash to make payments, you can now use crypto. And basically what Coinbase does as the enterprise and institution, it actually allows you to use a crypto to make a payment. They pay for it. They take your crypto. And it's a whole thing that once you understand it, you can see where the future is going. Especially say, for instance, you have these stable coins that are from different countries and you travel to these different countries, you do business, whatever you may do. You might have family in a different area. You can send this money, you can use this money and keep it stored on your own personal ledger or wallet without having to go through all the ins and outs of what is it called? You know how when you go to like certain countries, you have to take your money and exchange it. You don't have to go through all the exchange rates no more. It's all on your wallet. And we can go into the idea of a digital ID because that's what it'll turn into. You'll have a digital ID with a certain amount of finances with all your medical information on there, where your house is. Go down the line. Again, things are happening. Things are shaping up and we have to pay attention. But read this article and see how cool it is. It's one of those things where not everything is bad. Some things are just out there and they could help, especially when it comes to innovation. And we need to stop stifling innovation. We need to continue to build on these assets, but responsibly. All right, let's move on. So Blackrock, this is big information. Now, when it comes to crypto and blockchain, let's just read this really quick. So Blackrock announces BUIDL, I guess, expansion across Aptos, Arbitrum, Avalanche, Optimus, and then we have Polygon. Optimism, sorry. But it's one of those things where we are very early when it comes to investing, okay? Not financial advice. But this market is not even 15 years old yet. It's almost 15 years old. 2009, 2008 is when Bitcoin started. The actual white paper was released. But it's one of those things where we are still very early when it comes to something like this. This is... it's hard for me to stress it because I can see it in my mind's eye. But for others and how I explain it to them, it's a little bit different. But we are very early. When it comes to investing, these institutions always had the upper hand. Why? Because they were invested first. This is one of the first times, like since ever, I could say, that retail, us little people who have been working our whole lives, have been able to get into these markets before institutions come. And the reason why I say that is because regulation still hasn't even been here yet. There are some regulations, don't get me wrong, but it's not like our tax code. It's not like how it is when we get paid at work. These are projects, we can say, that are here on the blockchain, that are working. Some of them have went down. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you have to pay attention to. Make sure you do your research into a project and understand the utility of it. If it has real utility, then it will still be around, like Brad Garlinghouse said. So it's one of those things where if you have some money put away, not financial advice, look into some of these assets and understand that your dollar or whatever currency you have in your country will soon be obsolete. especially when it comes to blockchain technology, especially when it comes to cryptocurrency. And just we've been through these articles number of times where these are the main talking points for these talking heads. They continue to talk about crypto. They continue to talk about blockchain. So what does that tell you? This is the first time in history that retail has been able to get into this market first before institutions. Usually institutions get in first and we get priced out because it becomes too expensive, like Bitcoin in my opinion. But if you got in early, hey, you ain't complaining, right? But yeah, read through the article and see how the announcement changes everything. So basically they're talking about real world asset tokenization. Okay, so understand that. Go Google the word tokenization if you don't know what it is. Go down that rabbit hole and understand. Anything can be tokenized. Anything. Your cell phone, your car, your house, your insurance. Anything can be tokenized and put onto a smart contract. So there's a lot to it. There's a lot of moving parts, and you have to be aware when it comes to this stuff. If you're not aware, it can be very dangerous for you in the future. That's all I'm going to say. All right, moving on. So this is something that I don't know. It's one of those things. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, what came first, AI or humans? Many would say, AI, or many would say humans. But it's one of those things for me where it's like there's nothing new under the sun. And I completely agree with that. Like there's nothing new under the sun. We've only been exposed to these things, but in reality, how long has AI been here for, government entities before they release it to the public? I'm just saying it's one of those things where you have to question. So basically Arthur Hayes says AI agents, a new life force entering crypto space, and here's what it means. So I'm going to just break it down for you. So basically what's happening is there's these AIs, I don't know if they're hive mind or what it is, but they're AI meme coins. So it basically is an AI creating a meme coin, and then it controls the ledger in a way. So think about that. If you're trying to trade certain meme coins and the AI is running it, you're not going to win. It knows the hit prices. It knows the resistant levels to a T. It holds a certain amount, so it could adjust itself. It could sell at the top. Then when it comes back to the bottom, it can reinvest. So understand, like he's saying, this could be very bad for the industry if we do not take control of it. And it's something back to like Elizabeth Warren. Like if she sees this, or this comes across the committee's desk, then there has to be some type of regulation when it comes to AI, because once AI gets involved in finance, that's scary for a regular individual who barely knows anything about finances. And we've been set up that way for a long time. Like how many of us are financially literate? Me, I'm barely getting into it. So I can speak for myself. I can speak for my community and understand that not everybody understands finances. Especially when you're going against AI, there's just no chance. We got to eat and sleep and do all these other things while the AI is continuing to learn, continuing to build. And that's the scary thing about it. Read the article. Again, it will be down in the description, and understand some of these concepts that they talk about. Like, I don't like getting lost in the information. So like I'll look at it, I'll understand it, and then I'll put it in my locker box. I don't sit here and marinate on this stuff. Okay. And that's the best thing about it. You have to learn it and then move on from it. Don't get scared. Oh, AI is going to take over and kill us and this and that. That's beyond me. I'm just going to say that. It's not about that. It's about eating healthy. It's understanding that health is wealth, and you becoming the best version of yourself, no matter what type of things or situations you're put into. Okay, let's move on. So another thing about AI. So basically, a CEO warns of multiple threats posed by human level AI in the coming years. So again, this is talking about, basically when you have an AI controlling currency or the financial institutions, then they can start doing things that we become unaware of. Imagine BlackRock was an AI company. Probably is. It's probably ran by a whole bunch of algorithms and whatnot. But imagine BlackRock was an AI company and how much leverage, money, that's leverage, how much leverage they would have either to do political things or, to do institutional big things. But yeah, understand that we are at a junction here, you could say. We are at a crossroads where we go either one or two directions: total enslavement or freedom of the mind. That's it. There is no more middle ground. If you guys been paying attention, the middle class has been being wiped out right in front of us. You're either going to be someone who does something about things, or you're going to be someone who just complains about things. There's only two paths here. You can play neutral, but remember, ignorance only breeds more ignorance. Sorry about that. So we have to start focusing on solutions. We can think about the problems, but focusing on the solution is key and imperative when it comes to this stuff, especially AI. Like, I don't fear AI, but I know for a fact that AI is coming. Now, how do I get myself, my family, set up in a trust, all those things to protect myself? You can't protect all channels, but you can do what you can. We have to understand that. Sorry, the cat's messing with me, but we have to understand that the power is within us, and we've been given the power no matter what comes our way. Okay. Again, my name is Louis. I appreciate a like, a sub, and share this out to your friends who you think will like this information. I'm out. Peace.